welcome back to Final Collection 5. This one is going to be slightly shorter than the other ones, just because, as always, I'm on a bit of a time crunch. But let's jump right into these records. So this time I actually went and listened to them, kind of skimmed them. I'm not going to lie, it wasn't the most in-depth listening, but I went and ranked the songs and then gave a rating to like the top 3 songs on each album. So let's go through them and talk about them a bit. First up, this is an album that I didn't listen to before buying, which is probably true for only a handful, like maybe 3 or 4 albums. Most of them I bought after the fact, but a couple of them I just knew the artist and then maybe heard a couple singles and then just was like, yeah, I'll buy it. Nowadays I don't do that as much because I'm broke, but we will be buying more vinyls hopefully in the next like 6 months or so. But I think I'm going to try to focus on saving my money for moving rather than buying more vinyls. But this is Rufus by Yacht Club. Yacht Club, I heard of them, I think, maybe 5 years ago or something like that, from a song called You Know What I Mean. Technically it's called YK. YK, You Know What I Mean. YKWIM ? Pretty good. I like that song. And then heard a couple other songs. Heard I think like 1 or 2 singles off of this, and then was just like, yeah, I'll cop it. Because that was like early days of vinyls. Like this might have been one of like the first like 5 or 6 that I had, and I was just buying whatever. Not that this is a bad album, it's just like I don't think if I waited to listen to the album I would have bought it, if that makes sense. But maybe, I don't know. So this is Rufus by Yacht Club. I gave it a 7.9 total, which is pretty good. So my rating system is kind of like 7.8 is like the baseline of getting like a like on YouTube Music, which is what I use. This goes for like songs, but it's kind of the same for albums. So if it's a 7.8 or above, it goes to likes, which just means like I liked it quite a bit. And then 8.4 or above is tier 2 likes, which is like I really, really like it. Love it, even. And then yeah, 10 is like a perfect song. So that doesn't exist. But yeah. So this is the design. And I feel like this is like a slightly textured jacket. Maybe not, but it feels slightly different than a lot of the other ones I have. But who knows? And there's the back. And then we got the lyrics and song titles. I think Pixel and Stuntman maybe were the singles that I heard. I don't remember. And those are the 2 top songs. Number 1 was Stuntman for me, right here. Stuntman is my number 1 at 8.5. Pixel is my number 2 at 8.4. And Otherworld was tied for 3rd at 8.4 as well. And then I think the other songs go down to like 8.2 and stuff like that. to bring the grand total to a 7.9, which is pretty good. That means that overall the album earned a like. That means like I would say if an album gets above a 7.8, then it's like I would be down recommending it to someone if it seems to align with their tastes. And if it's like an 8.4 above, or honestly probably like 8.2, 8.3 or above, honestly, for an album, then it's like I would just recommend it to anyone, really, as long as they're like open to that genre. And then maybe like 8.4 or above is like, yeah, you just have to listen to it, which isn't many albums. That's not many. But this is the vinyl. It's green. The little sticker. Pretty nice. Pretty cool. Okay. We're speedrunning this one, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, this is like, I should have wrote down some stuff about like what the songs are like or what the music is like. But I'd say this album is kind of, it's like rock-esque, but not like hard. No, it's not. I don't know if it's rock-esque. It's like electronic pop-esque. I don't know. It's like a little bit of rock influence, a little bit of pop influence, but like mainly electronic centric, if that makes any sense. I'm still not good at describing genres or anything like that at all. So maybe in the next one I'll try and actually look up what they classify them as. But I'd say if you like guitar and stuff, like more like soft rock, that's probably not what it's called. But like rock that isn't like and do you like electronic, like synth type, weird, like futuristic kind of retro vibe at the same time, I think you would enjoy it. I don't know. Go listen to You Know What I Mean by Yacht Club, and if you like that, then you could give the album a listen. Next up, let's go to this one. This one is Soundtrack. I wonder if you could guess it. I'm just seeing that. This is a soundtrack to a Netflix show, an animated Netflix show that is on my list of like 5-star shows and movies, which I don't think, like, I just give them 5 stars because it's like I really like them. It's kind of like my favorite list, not necessarily like 5-star list. Like technically, yeah, but I don't know. Because like some of them aren't there. Some of them on there aren't like the best movies ever made. Like Speed Racer is on that list. That movie's not like the greatest film ever, but it's like sick as hell. So for me, it's a 5-star type beat. And this is on there too, and I think it is really good, but not perfect, but really good. This is Cyberpunk Edgerunners soundtrack, which I can't remember correctly, but I think it won like an award. Not the soundtrack, maybe, probably not, but it won like an Emmy or something, or an Oscar. Can shows win Oscars? I don't remember. But because like this and Arcane came out around similar time, and I think, or maybe it was just that it was nominated, and we're like, me and my brother were like, it better not beat Arcane, bro. Arcane is another level. I'm sorry. Low key, I might get the Arcane vinyl. if they have that. I haven't even seen it, but I imagine they have it. But this is the record, the vinyl. Just a bright neon yellow. Not very see-through at all. Opaque. Is that the word? Translucent. It is opaque. I don't know. And then it's got the little thing going on, you know what I'm saying? The sound is done. What does it say on it? Trigger. Studio Trigger. CD Projekt Red. And just a bunch of stuff. Side B, side A. But yeah, this one didn't really have much in it. It was just the record itself. And then the jacket, which got David on the front. And Lucy, or I guess it's the front. And then David on the back. And then some other like side characters around. And then it came with this, which is just like a poster version of the front, essentially. And the track list on the back. On this like thick little cardstock paper. But yeah, this is, you know, a soundtrack. And it's kind of more like a score than like a soundtrack. So it's not like a bunch of just songs that were made for it compiled into a soundtrack. It's just like songs that were in it, kind of thing. So they're lower rated for me because they're just like score tracks essentially. They're still cool and I still like them and tried to rate them fairly. But it, you know, it's gonna be lower than if it was just a bunch of songs. And sadly, I really wanna go with you. What is that song called? I really wanna. I don't know what it's called. I really wanna go home with you. I really wanna go away with you. Something like that. That song's not on this, if you can tell. It's just This Fire, which is their like opening song. And then what is the other song that's an actual song? Let You Down, I think. I don't know where that one goes, but that one's also cool. That one is actually my top rated song. Let You Down was my number 1 at 8.4. This Fire is number 2, 8.2 by Franz Ferdinand. And then Juiced Up is my favorite of like the regular like score tracks on this. That one's honestly fire. I give it an 8.0, which I'd say for like just a score song, like, you know, just something that's kind of made to be more like background music, doesn't have any lyrics or anything like that. It's pretty solid, pretty sick song. I'd say it's a pretty decent rating for that kind of song for me. But yeah, I think there were some pretty sick songs out of like the tracks that are just kind of more like score, you know. Juiced Up was really good. Whatever It Takes, I don't remember, I'm not gonna lie, but that one is 4th. Run to the Edge, Sudden Skirmish are both pretty solid tracks. I think if you like, again, I'm bad at describing genres, but I guess cyberpunk music, like if you played the games and enjoyed the music, some of these songs are just straight up on the like cyberpunk radio or whatever. I think a lot of these songs, if not all of them, probably are on there. But if you like those songs, you should, 1, listen to these songs, and 2, watch the show if you haven't. Because I think it's a pretty good show. Pretty short. And I also confirmed making season 2 now. They released a teaser or whatever for it. New squad, new story, same night city or whatever it said. So that's kind of hype. Yeah, I'd say it's pretty good. It's like futuristic, grungy, electronic, like techno. Maybe. I don't know. But I feel like if you've played the game or know of the game or the show, you'd kind of know the vibe of the music. But yeah, it's like high pace, adrenaline, electronic rock. I don't know. But I think some of the songs have just like straight up guitar, like regular. I guess it is electric guitar, but you know, it's not all like synths and stuff. There's like some more direct like rock influences, I guess. And those songs are pretty cool. I think the whatever I said, the third one, Juiced Up, has guitar, so that one's pretty sick. Next. Oops. Let's go this one. This is one of 2 albums that I bought off of Etsy like a year ago or something. Because there's just some person selling like a random vinyl for $5 or whatever. So I bought 2 of them. And I was like, even if they're horrible, it's only $5, so who cares? And this one was actually pretty decent. The other one, I totally forgot about it because it's just whatever. This one's pretty good. And so for $5, not a bad deal. And I have gone and listened to a couple of songs off of this album on streaming services. And yeah, they're very small. But this is Love, Lust, and Greed by, who sings this? Great Grief. Love, Lust, and Greed is the debut LP by Great Grief, released by No Sleep Records in 2018, established 2013. So yeah, it came out 2018. I guess they're formerly known as Icarus, band from Reykjavik, Iceland. And there's the track list. This is like Screamo, almost. Or is that Screamo? I think Screamo's different. It's like, because like there is screaming, but I think Screamo is like a different thing, maybe. I don't know. I don't remember. But it's like hard rock, where they're screaming and yelling and stuff a lot. But it's low-key fire. Damn. We got a whole like essay, journal entry type thing. You can pause it and read that if you want. I'm not gonna read it, but if you want to check it out, hopefully it's in focus enough for you to do so. And it just says like people in the band. Many thanks to dear friends for lending their voices. And special thanks, share utmost gratitude, yada yada type beat. But yeah, that's the inside. And it's pretty cool that it's a gatefold jacket for $5. Like, some of those ones weren't even gatefold jackets. And this thing was $5. And then it's also not even like a plain vinyl. It's like pink swirly, which is kind of cool. I kind of like that. I actually really like this vinyl color. It's probably like top 3 vinyl designs for me out of the ones I own. I really like the pink. But yeah, on this one, Escaping Reykjavik, I gave it 8.4. Nihilist Digest, I gave 8.2. And Ivory, in parentheses, Lie, I gave it 8. And then I think all the other songs are like 7 point whatever. But I think there's a couple more that were alike still, like above 7.8. But overall, I gave it a 7.7. So same score as Cyberpunk Edge Runners soundtrack, which is pretty decent. That's pretty good. But yeah, if you don't like when people scream in rock songs, this ain't for you. It's just not, because they scream. If you are into that, I don't know if I'd consider it a screamo. I don't think that's the right term. But just screaming. I feel like there's a term for that. Or it's not screamo, but there is like the screaming in rock songs. I don't think it's hard rock. It's like I don't know, I can't think of it. But if you know what I mean, then you know. But it's got screaming. It's like that hard, like grungy, like dark rock vibe. So if you're into that, then you could give it a listen. It has like, at least on YouTube Music, most of the songs have like 2 to 10 likes on them. So if you want to give it a listen, go show them some love on the streaming services. That'd be cool. But yeah, those top 2 songs I think were actually pretty good. Where even if you're not like directly a fan of like that kind of style, I think you could still appreciate it if you like rock, metal. That's what I was looking for. I think you'd consider it metal. Maybe I might be wrong about that too, but I don't know. But yeah, for $5 on Etsy or whatever, pretty solid pickup. You know, I've listened to the vinyl, I think once, and I've listened to a couple of the tracks, you know, a handful of times over the year or whatever. And so, you know, gotten pretty good use out of it. It helped me discover new artists and kind of open myself up to more like metal and like that style of rock, which I hadn't really listened to before that, but I've listened to a little bit more since then. Then next up, we're gonna go with the thumbnail album, the title album of this video. Which was a last second edition. I switched this one out for a different one because I realized that there wasn't one that I could easily come up with a thumbnail title for. So we added this one so I could do that. So I didn't go through and rate all of the songs on this, but I have rated them before because I've been trying to keep track of the albums I listen to, most of them, and so I go and rate all the songs. Where the heck is this? Where did I put it? So this was one of those that I did that for a while ago. So this one's actually going to be more accurate rating. Oh damn, so looking at this list of all the ones that I've put into this software, into Notion, because there's a bunch that I have just in my notes app on my phone that I haven't transferred to this yet, but out of this there are 5 albums above a 8.3. So yeah, 5 albums 8.3 or above, 3 albums 8.5 or above, and this one is on that list. So this is pretty solid, and Control is not on this yet, so I think that'll join that list for sure. But yeah, so we'll open this, and this is All Points Screaming by St. Vincent. This is also, I think, in that first batch of vinyls that I bought, within like the first like 5 to 10, I would say. Look at that, that's clean. That's sick. Kind of hard to see because it's so dark and my light is so bright, but that's clean. I like that. And then the back is just blank, which is kind of sick. I do have a shirt of this, so it's just this on the back, and the front just says St. Vincent. I don't know if I've worn it in a video, but probably. And then the inside jacket is blank, and then this. You know, respect. And then we go inside. We got the track list and the lyrics. And then you go deeper. And you got the orange vinyl. A little bit of like a darker orange, like swirl. I don't know if you call it like a swirl, but there's a little bit of like accent color mixed in there, if you could see it. Just a little. Just a subtle little coloring. But yeah, this album is pretty fire. If you don't know St. Vincent, you gotta hop on, because it's gas. I would say she is like rock artist, I would say, for the most part. But I also think putting her in a genre limits your perception of the music, if that makes sense. Like, essentially, if you don't like rock, I don't think that should be enough to not give her music a try, because it is just that good, you know, to where I don't think it's limited by a genre, even though I would consider it within the rock genre. If you're like deeply against rock, I think you could still find some songs in her track list or in her discography that you would enjoy. I found out about St. Vincent because of the Twilight soundtrack. Rosalind by St. Vincent and Bon Iver. That track is fire. I, of course, heard it in Twilight, and then I heard it again in like a YouTube documentary thing. I think it was by Natalie Lynn, I believe. And I was watching it on a break while I worked at the sawmill, because one of the machines went down, so we had like a 3-hour lunch, and I watched one of those videos, and I was like sad and stuff, and you know, depressed a little bit, and I watched one of them, and it made me cry during the part that used that song, and I was like, damn, this song is fire. And then I went back in after they fixed the machine, and it was more, like, was still, like, sad and, like, stressed and everything. And we weren't supposed to wear headphones, but I was like, I don't care anymore. And so I put on headphones, and I put that song on. I think I listened to it, like, 5 times. And I almost, like, just started crying while I was working. And I think that was, like, the last week that I was there. I think I quit, like, 4 days later or something like that. But yeah, that song is sick. And then I went and listened to this album and bought it because it's fire. So top 3 songs. Ooh, this isn't in order. I have to actually look at it. So the number 1 song on this album is one of my highest rated songs, I think, ever that I have. Let's see. My number 1 album is rated a 9 flat, and its top rated song is a 9.5. Second best album on here is rated 8.8. Top song is 9.2. And then, yeah, I think I have another 9 on here. Another 9. Yes, I think it's tied for the highest rated one. At least that's on this. Maybe I have more in my notes app that go higher, but I don't think so. Oh, it's actually not tied. The other one was 9.5. This is 9.6. And that song is... Where is it? Violent Times. This song is so fire. This song is so good. It's like so like smooth and like you just gotta move when you listen to that song. It's so good. It's like jazz rock. I just made that up. I mean, that might be a thing, and if it is a thing, it's probably not like that, but that's what it feels like to me. Like it has like certain aspects of like jazz and like soul or R&B kind of thing, and then rock. I think it's so fire. Yeah, definitely one of my favorite songs ever. It's really good. If you haven't listened to it, go search up Violent Times by St. Vincent and give that a listen. It is fire. You won't regret it, and if you do, that sucks for you, man. It really does. The second highest song on this is Reckless. Where is that on here? Reckless. I give it an 8.9. And then the third one would be Broken Man. You better say a broken man. Right here. Broken Man, 8.5. So all 3 of those songs, I think, are higher rated than any of the top 3 songs on those other ones. I think. I'm pretty sure, right? I don't think any of them got up to 8.5. Like, I don't think their number 1 song got up to 8.5, and this one's third song is 8.5. So, yeah. And then as an album, I give it an 8.5. So if you go and listen to Violent Times and you like it, just listen to the whole album. I wouldn't be mad if you don't like a couple of the songs, but I think they're all pretty gas. The lowest scored songs on this, I give it 8. 2 songs tied for an 8 flat. So, in my opinion, pretty solid album. No skips. At least, like, first listen, no skips, you know? Because sometimes you go through an album that you never listened to before, and some songs just aren't your vibe, and you just skip them. That's just the way it is. Sometimes that just happens. Most of the time, I don't do that, because I try to just give it a full go. I mean, sometimes I'm just not paying attention, so I just don't skip it. But usually I don't end up like skipping tracks on the first listen, but sometimes I just do. But if I'm like going back to an album I've listened to for like the third time, sometimes I will skip the songs that are like, you know, pretty good, but not like, they're not the reason I went back to the album. You know, sometimes I'll skip those. And I think there's like one on this album that I would do that too, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's a skip per se. It's just like, if I'm going back to listen to certain songs, I'm not gonna, you know, go through all of them, if that makes sense. But yeah, that album is really good. It's really good. I'd say that's one of my favorite albums, probably like top 3 albums out of all the ones I've shown on vinyl collection series so far. But we gotta get through this. We got 2 more vinyls, and I got like 20 more minutes till I gotta leave, so like 10 more minutes hopefully. Let's go this one. This one is another one that I bought before it came out, so I wasn't aware of its game. Not that it was like exceeded my expectations, but I just hadn't heard it before. Oh, it's actually the lowest rated album on this whole episode. Not to say it's horrible. It's just not. It's just a different goal. Like, I don't think this artist makes music with the goal of being the next Beethoven or like Queen, you know, to be revered and to be loved for their quality of music, you know, but rather for their creativity, their willingness to be hated and disliked because they are willing to be themselves and just do whatever the hell they want to. And I think that's one of the big reasons why I like them so much. This is Oliver Tree, baby. Alone in a Crowd. I went to this concert, and I think it was fire. He played songs from the first album, whatever that's called, like Alone, Beautiful. I have no clue. I'm not gonna lie. It's probably so wrong. That's not what it is at all. But that first album, the second one, which I didn't really know existed, like a country inspired album. That one was okay. And then this one. I think the first album was the best one, but this one is pretty close behind it. It's got some tracks that are pretty fun, you know, enjoyable listens. Nothing that I was rate too high, but I could vibe out to a lot of these songs, you know. I mean, I did. I went to the damn concert, so like, you know, it says at least something about the enjoyability of the music, if not the quality. But here's the back. It's just like the back of this, essentially. And then the dog with the bob. Everybody in they bob. But yeah, if you don't like Oliver Tree, I mean, I get it, but I think you're missing out, low-key. If you don't like Oliver Tree because you think he makes horrible music, then go ahead, you know. Oh, there's a dog again. Bob Dog. But if you don't like him because you think he's annoying, I think you gotta, like, be willing to see things from a new perspective, you know. Because, like, I think I did think he was a little annoying in the beginning, but the more I listened to, the more, like, music videos I saw, the more I see him just, like, talk or whatever to, like, people in, like, interviews or whatever. Did I say interviews already? I don't know. Essentially, the more of him that I saw, the more I kind of got it and understood. Because at first I was like, yeah, this guy's a little annoying. And I still do think that a little bit. But one, it's a character. Two, I think he is kind of meant to be polarizing in a way. To, you know, I feel like that's one of his goals, is to get people to dislike him, essentially. Because that means that he gets more freedom in what makes. Because if people don't like him because of who he is and what he wants to make, then those people won't listen to him. And if they don't listen to him, they won't expect him to do things that they want, you know. And then only the people that want to listen to him because they like his personality or his style will be willing to listen to whatever he wants to make, if that makes sense. Here's Final. Pretty fire. I like that. This side is a little weird. Like, I guess. But this side's pretty sick. This one's clean. This one's cool. But yeah, I think he makes pretty fun music. It was a very enjoyable concert. Miss You is number 1. That song is gas. I give it an 8.3. Bounce, the first track on the album, is number 2. I give it an 8.1. And then Essence, number 3, I give it 8.0. But I think every single, okay, not every single song, but like my top half of the album is like, if it came on, I would let it play all the way through and be dancing around, you know. Miss You, really good. Bounce, good vibe. Essence, I don't remember, I'm not gonna lie, but apparently it was pretty good. Fairweather Friends, you know, nice little chill track. One and Only, pretty solid, pretty good. Invisible Man, that one's alright, you know, I like it, I think it's cool. Strangers, Strangers I think is pretty good. Strangers probably should have been above Invisible Man. And then With You, Smile, Elevator to the Sky, I think all of those songs are like pretty decent. And the other ones, meh. I wasn't a huge fan, but apparently Miss You is considered bonus track on the album. I don't really know why. I guess it wasn't supposed to be on it, or I don't know. But that one is my favorite. That one, I think it's good. I think that one's like actually good. Like that one, I don't know. That one I could just put on whenever and vibe to it. The rest of them, I think I have to be in a certain mood to just want like simple, not simple music, but like, you know, I'm not sitting here having to dissect it all to understand, you know, the meaning or to really consume the art of it, you know. It's just like I'm trying to vibe out to some good music, some fun little tunes, then I could throw on those songs, you know. But yeah, I think Oliver Tree makes some decent music. I vibe with it. And then this last album is another technically soundtrack album, I guess. It is a jazz album. Jazz recordings of some songs, some popular songs from old video games, called Joystick Jazz by the Blue Shift Big Band. I didn't give it an album rating, so I'm trying to think of what it would be right now. I guess probably 7.8. We'll give it tentative 7.8 right now, but it might be 7.9. 7.8 or 7.9. I don't know, but around there. I think it's pretty fire. This is volume 2, I guess, of this series of the Blue Shift Big Band doing songs from my plays iconic video game hits. Here's the art. Pretty sick. Pretty sick. Here's the back. There's the track list. Pretty short track list. The songs are kind of long, I guess. 6 minutes, 5 minutes, 7 minutes. But yeah, not many tracks on there. Here's the credits of all the musicians, part of the band. But yeah, I think I've always kind of liked jazz, but never really let myself explore it, I guess. Until I randomly took a jazz appreciation class in the one semester of college that I did. And yeah, the class was boring as hell, but we had to listen to music sometimes in there, and the music was usually pretty good. And so since then I've tried to listen to more jazz, still not very much at all, but you know, we're working our way towards it. And then this one I just randomly saw because the people that sell it, I think it's like I Am 8-Bit or something like that, they do like a lot of video game soundtracks on vinyl. I think they just were like, oh, new release or something like that, or it was on sale or something, and I was like, oh, I'll buy it. I didn't even know what tracks were on it whatsoever, but it's honestly really good. It's really good. So yeah, some more artwork. I don't know what games these are from. But yeah, pretty sick. So we got song for Grim Fandango, which is my worst rated song. Not that it's horrible, it's just the one at the bottom, you know. One of them had to be at the bottom. And then Aquatic Ruin Zone from Sonic 2 is the second to last. Radial from Bomberman Hero is third to last. But technically fourth place, so, you know, not horrible. And then the top 3 from reverse order go Vampire Killer from Castlevania at number 3. And number 2, Chemical Plant Zone from Sonic 2. Yeah, Sonic 2. And then first place, the number 1 song on the album for me. Oh my god, I'm yawning so much. Is Don't Think Twice from Kingdom Hearts 2. God, those 2 songs are fire. I gave them an 8.5 and 8.4 respectively. And then Vampire Killer was 8.1. And I think the other ones are probably like a 7.8 or something. So I think the album should be 7.9. We'll do that. We'll put it at 7.9, call it a day. But yeah. And yeah, this one is just a plain black vinyl. I try not to get the plain normal ones, but sometimes I don't care. But yeah, Don't Think Twice and Chemical Plant Zone are fire. If you like jazz or you like those songs from those games, you should listen to it. It is on streaming, so you can just look that B up, and it's gas. Those 2 songs are really good. I was listening to them, when I was going through all these albums and rating them and stuff. I was just like getting ready for bed, I think, in the restroom, and just jamming out to some jazz. It was fire. It was sick. I gotta jam out to some jazz more often. That was beast. Those two songs are really good. But sadly, that is it for this one. It's time for me to go. Time for me to hop on out of here. So hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully you got some decent sounds. I know there wasn't as much sounds. There wasn't as much to go through in these albums. Versus some of the earlier ones had a bunch of stuff in them. And I did try to go through it a little fast. So this is probably like 40% of the length of the last one. But I think there'll be another 3 months or so till the next final collection. But then once we get to that one, I'm gonna like make sure that every single one is like as in depth as possible. We might be hitting 2 hours on these guys. We're gonna keep it at 6 finals, but you know, we'll try to go more in depth. Maybe go through the whole track list. You know, look up actual terms that apply to the music. You know, and we'll make sure to get more sound as well. So if you want more of that, then you can subscribe so you don't miss that one. And you can also go watch the older Vinyl Collection ones. The last one was I think 1 hour and 40 minutes, so you can get an extra 1 hour and 40 minutes of this if you want that. There's also 3 more before that one, which I think total like another 3.5 hours maybe. So much more Vinyl Collection content if you want it. You can go in the description. There'll be a link to the playlist of all the collections videos. So we got Vinyl Collection on there. We got shoe collections on there. We got comic book collection. And I think we got the Kickstarter video on that playlist too. So if you like going through just a bunch of random crap, then you might want to check out that playlist. But yeah, that's it for this one. So I'll see you next week. I don't know what the video will be, but hopefully it'll be good and hopefully you'll enjoy it.